Okay, we have some echo here. I'll mute. There we go. Okay, so welcome to the Jakarta EE9 Milestone Release Party. I am just going to show you the agenda slide, and then we'll get started with the opening. So, as I said, welcome, and I hope you've all created your cupcakes. We will have some cupcake sharing and showing all the speakers and eat some cupcakes together. And then we'll have some opening remarks by Will. Then Kevin will do a Jakarta EE platform project update. Scott will do the TCK update, and Steve will talk about Eclipse GlassFish, and BJ will talk about the transformer. Then I will show a quick demo how to try out the Jakarta EE9 release, and then closing time, and we'll eat some cupcakes together. So with that, I give the word to Will. And you can just start sharing your screen.
Okay. Hello? So, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the Crowdcast today. My name is Will Lyons. I work for Oracle, and I'm a member of the Jakarta EE Steering Committee. And I am getting some echo. Is anybody else getting that?
I have muted everybody else, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're here today to celebrate the Jakarta EE9 milestone release. And we're really pleased about that. And we're just going to kick this off with a few introductions. Now, I've never done one of these live sessions where we're supposed to celebrate eating something or eating cupcake or what have you. But I did go out last night. I decided not to bake cupcakes. I live on the East Coast of the US. It's very hot. The kitchen gets hot. You got to run the air conditioner. It's not energy efficient. So I went to the store, which also isn't very energy efficient, I guess, either, but it was easier for me. So I got my cupcake, and my family was very pleased to see that I got a rainbow cupcake, which has some significance of some kind. I'm not familiar with it, but congratulations to everybody. And I really do want to say, seriously, thank you to Kevin Sutter, to Scott, to Steve, and all the members of the community who have made this release possible. There's really a very significant amount of work in getting out a new platform release. We think this is going to deliver a lot of value, and we're really happy about it. So I just want to take us back just a bit for some background on this. Back in September of 2019, we released Jakarta EE8. Jakarta EE8 was essentially a release under the Jakarta EE specification process of the Java EE8 specification. So it's fully compatible with Java EE8, but all the licensing, all the IP, all the approval of the technology was done through the open source project, through the Jakarta EE Working Group and the Eclipse Foundation. And Jakarta EE8 has actually been very successful. We have 8 full platform compatible implementations and 4 web profile compatible products to date. And I'm hoping there will be more. And then after we released EE8, we discussed the approach we would take to Jakarta EE9. So Jakarta EE9 is actually a full release of the full platform. And we've elected to take what was called at the time, back in December, the Big Bang approach, where we've transformed all the use of the JavaX packages and the JavaX namespace that was inherited from Java EE8 and transform the use of that namespace to the Jakarta namespace. We've done this to give tooling vendors a platform they can work with to enable developers to experiment in migrating their applications to Jakarta EE9 from EE8, and to give product vendors something they can evaluate for building new implementations using EE9. So we adopted the plan to essentially take all of EE8, transform the namespace, move it to EE9 with a new release, with some minor adjustments around pruning some specifications and so on. But by and large, this is an architecturally compatible release with Jakarta EE8. And we're here today to announce the first milestone release of Jakarta EE9. And this includes the full platform, all the components that make up Jakarta EE, the APIs, a release of the TCKs, the specifications, and compatible implementation. So we have the Eclipse GlassFish 6.0 compatible implementation building and running, and we're running TCK tests against it. And we also have, as you will see, commitments from major platform vendors to deliver other compatible implementations for Jakarta EE9. And we're also seeing use of individual components in implementations like Tomcat, like Jetty, that are using the Jakarta EE9 APIs. And we also have commonly used components like Jersey, like Metro, that are now released using the Jakarta EE9 APIs. So we've actually got a substantial community of users delivering implementations, and I counted on the order of 20 plus, which are currently available today that are using the Jakarta EE9 APIs. So we're hoping that this release will enable partners and tooling vendors the ability to begin the process of certifying their tools on Jakarta EE9, and will enable the community to begin evaluating the release. And our target is in September to do a GA release of the full platform. And so we're very much looking forward to that. I said up front, I want to thank Kevin, Scott, and Steve for their leadership in bringing the platform forward to where we have it today. But I also wanted to send out a thank you to the entire community. What I'm showing here is a somewhat dated chart, but it shows in Q1 of 2020, the contributions we've seen to spec projects from the entire community. And you can see that we have substantial contributions from the vendors who participated in the Jakarta EE working group, including Oracle and IBM and Red Hat and Payara and other vendors. But we're also seeing another category, and other represents community members who are making contributions very broadly, not necessarily affiliated with any of the particular vendors. So that's a substantial contribution from all of you, and we really appreciate it. And with that, thank you for joining, and we're ready to turn it over to other presenters who will delve into the detail of what we're actually releasing today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Will. And do show your cupcake again when you're on the
my
screen.
Cupcake, yes. Were you unable to see? Oh! This is live.
It is live.
Now,
and now you're on the big screen.
Blue icing on my hands here. But the rainbow is still in place, although a little bit squashed.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Excellent. So,
is there any other function I'm supposed to? Am I supposed to have a bite of my cupcake? Is that
you can if you want to. You should tell us if it tastes good.
Okay, I will. I'll probably get the icing all over my mouth as well.
Yeah, we'll all get that after a while. Yeah.
That is one good cupcake.
Yeah, that's a release cupcake, and that's how it's
I'm very released about that. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us.
Take me off video so I can clean myself up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will.
And then I'll invite the next speaker in. Kevin, I hope you're ready. So there you go.
Hey guys, did you show off your cupcakes as well?
No, we haven't yet. So
okay, that's the big reveal at the end.
Oh, it is okay. So we're not.
if you want it that way, yes.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you. And you have your Jakarta T-shirt on. That's good.
Of course.
Yeah. I have the small logo.
Yeah, I need a fancy one like yours, Ivar.
Yeah, I'll put one in the mail for you. I have a bunch of them at home, so there is one coming. That's what you get when you release something, right? Okay, so we're saying goodbye to Shabnan for a while Kevin is preparing to share his screen. So goodbye, Shabnan, and see you again later.
Okay.
So Kevin, do you want to show off your cupcake?
Yeah, just a second. I'm trying to get my screen here.
Screen shared. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh, we can see now so many of us.
Yeah, I'll put Kevin on the big screen when he shares his cupcake.
Okay, so look at the colors.
OMG.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
How appropriate.
And Tanya, look at the flag.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
Kevin. I think that's a winner.
Yeah. So try not to throw it on the floor or break it after your talk.
Yeah, okay, I'll try.
Yeah. So
okay.
Let's focus your slides.
Are we good?
Yes, it's showing kind of the Crowdcasts tab.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the screen you want to share, but
oh, so it's not showing the full screen.
No, it's not
showing
rendering.
the presentation.
It kind of has the Crowdcast. There you go.
Now it is.
Okay, so now you see that, but when I go to present, then it doesn't show up.
Huh.
Let me just do it again.
No, it doesn't.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I will just make this as large as I can. How's that?
That's good.
Okay, is that good enough?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, let's get going then. And I'll try not to spend too much time. There's a lot more content coming with TCK compatible implementations and the transformer, so I want to make sure to leave them enough time. As you can see, I'm very much involved with Jakarta EE in several capacities. Just a quick agenda on what we have accomplished with Milestone 1 and what's left on our plate in order to complete Jakarta EE 9. And so I first wanted to start off with this chart. I kind of modified the one that came as our template because I wanted to say thank you and congratulations to all of the participants. And I thought that the thank you there in the many different languages was a good way to do it, because even as you see the different participants on this call, they're coming from all over the world. And those are the kind of contributions that we got for the Jakarta EE effort. And I know we're just at milestone 1, but you know, for Jakarta, for milestone 1 and for Jakarta EE9, we really are getting input from all over the world with many different countries, and it's very much appreciated. And that's consistent with what Will mentioned earlier about the large number of contributions. You know, like 40% are coming from outside of the key organizations within the working group. So that's all very good. So what's available in milestone 1? So the main thing I want to point out is that all of the specification projects that make up Jakarta EE9 have delivered some version of their specifications, their API and the associated Java doc, a TCK, and compatible implementation. So I'm going to just quickly go to this tab just to show the different things. So if you're interested in the overall platform or web profile, all of the different components that make up Jakarta EE, they are all listed on this page here. And as you dive into one of them for, let's say, Jakarta EE platform, and we go into version 9, which is a milestone release, every one of these components, the platform, web profile, and all the other ones, have all of these different pointers in here. So you can go off and look at the specification in either PDF or HTML format. Everyone has a link to their Java doc. If you go in here at the platform level, you will get all of the Java doc for all of the components, a link to the current version of the TCK, a link to the current API, and all of the, well, our APIs at the platform level are definitely in Maven. Some of the components didn't make it into Maven yet. Some of them are just part of our staging repository, but at the platform level, I pulled in all of them. So whether or not they were in the staging repository or Maven, I pulled them all in, and so we can get access to the API jar file here. And there's a link to a compatible implementation. Now, the other unique thing that I have off of the platform page is a link to our schedule. One of the things that we had the schedule kind of in multiple locations, and it was getting kind of confusing as to which schedule are we trying to follow. So this one has a link to the schedule that we are trying to stick to. It is still a goal, and I will just bring that up just so that you can take a look at it. Today's milestone release, June 23rd. We do have a goal of making September 16th for the final GA. Now, a lot of that kind of depended on whether or not we were even going to be able to make the milestone release, and we did make that. So we are in pretty good shape to complete the rest of the activities to make the final specifications, the final APIs, the final TCKs, and the final compatible implementations by September 16th. So that's what we're driving for. But this is where we will end up updating it as necessary. So if something comes through in July or August and things are changing here a little bit, you know, if we're off by a couple of weeks or we're off by a couple of months or whatever, this is where we will be keeping this up to date. Okay, so now I'll just go back to the presentation. So I've mentioned that we do have a lot of the things in complete. So what else do we have left? And so for the platform, 2 of the specifications, the manage beans and the web profile, those are actually pretty much complete. I don't expect a whole lot to be changing in that area, except of course we still need the platform TCK and the GlassFish compatible implementation, but those will come. For the platform release, we still have a few to-dos because of the distributed interop and the EJB 4.0 changes. I do have an open issue to make some images editable, and I know I've gotten some input on that, and I have not been able to get to it yet this week to see if that satisfies it. So that was some more community input. That was very nice to receive. And we still have a backwards compatibility section that we are working on that needs to be folded into the platform. So we have a little bit of work from a platform perspective. From overall Jakarta EE9, you can monitor our progress using the project board. That's what we use from a development perspective. So that's what I have been using to try driving the early release of the APIs that we did back, in February or March. And then now we drove towards this milestone release. And as we drive towards the final release, that's where we will be monitoring the progresses on the project board. I've already pointed out the schedule page, so that's something that can be referenced as well. And like I said, the goal is to be complete with this by September 16th. And that happens to coincide with the Jakarta 1 live stream. So you'll see, if anything moves in this area, it'll probably move both of them. It'll probably move the final delivery along with the live stream. I think they're going to be hand in hand. That's just my view on how things are working. And finally, just in case any of you are interested, this is a way to stay informed with the overall platform project and how we are driving Jakarta EE9. When I send out notes, whether I'm asking for input or additional help or whatever, these are the two mailing lists that I utilize: the platform dev mailing list and the spec project leads mailing list. These are the two that I use quite often. We also have a platform call, which is 3 to 4 times per month. It's every Tuesday except for the first Tuesday. The first Tuesday is reserved for the PMC call. And otherwise, it's every other Tuesday in the month. And so I put links in here for the calendar. The agenda is very fluid. Anybody can add items to our agenda. It's a Google Doc. And then we formalize the minutes and get them put out onto our GitHub pages. And we do have a Slack channel available. It's not that active, but it is a good way just to, if you need to touch base with someone for a quick question immediately, you can reach out on Slack. So that's what I had. And I think the next thing is to hand it off. And I think Scott Marlowe is next with the TCK.
Yes, that's right. But before that,
Yeah, so
you want to show your cupcake again, and
Okay.
maybe have a bite of it as Will did.
Oh, okay. I still have the paper on it. How about here? I'll just take some of the icing.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, that's good.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Kevin, and congratulations to you too. It was a lot of effort on your part, so leading it is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I will leave them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you later.
See you later.
Let's see.
Hi, Scott.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Oh, I see. Kevin is still here, but Tanya was thrown out. I pressed the wrong button. I'll invite her back again.
Let's see.
There you go.
Share.
So, hi, Scott. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Oh, very good.
Let's see. Let's look for the share. Look here.
So, do you have a cupcake as well?
I do.
That's good.
Let's see. That's it. Share. Oh, let me get the cupcakes first, and then I'll share the screen.
You have to go and get them. Yeah.
Oh, they're fresh and cool. That's what it means.
Yeah. Oh.
OMG.
Let's see.
How amazing is that?
A little higher. There you go.
Wow.
So these are red velvet cupcakes from the grocery store, and my wife Sharon did all the creative work, put the signs together. She was great at it. I told her that she should come down and eat one with me. I don't know if that'll happen, but I think it's great. Exceeded my expectation.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share the screen. Let's see. Share.
Yeah, I'll put it up. There you go.
All right, great.
Excellent.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Marlowe, and I work for Red Hat, and I also in lead of the Jakarta EE platform TCK project, which means I'm responsible, but I have no say over very much. But so is the way it is with open source projects. The community leads everything, which is the way it should be. Just to give a few details about the role of the platform TCK, for those that are implementing Jakarta EE servers, you probably already know you need to pass the Jakarta platform TCK, either in full platform mode, which is all of the tests, or the web profile, which is a subset for web apps of the test. And the TCKs basically prove that a server implementation is 100% compatible or not. There's no 90% or what have you. So that's, the current status of the platform TCK is we are not yet 100% passing the test with GlassFish 6. That's our goal. We'll hit it, we'll hit it for September or not. But we hope, we plan on reaching there. Another part of the TCK is what we call the standalone TCK tests that are targeted at specific specifications. And one new one for EE9 is the activation TCK. For those who are working on EE server implementations, be aware that you need to also pass the activation TCK. So that's new. We talked about the Big Bang change. A lot of changes have gone into the platform TCK this year for EE9. We started with the Big Bang changes, renaming several Java X to Jakarta class references. This was an interesting experience. And personally, my first pull request that I created in my editor, which I thought I would share a little story about that. I started out with doing a global search and replace and ended up leaving the truncate line endings, truncate blank spaces at the end of lines, and ended up touching nearly every line and every file I updated. It was not well received. We cleaned that up, but I figured it'd be good to share some of these stories. Another one was doing a global search and replace. In this little example, I'm using the AG tool to do the search. Notice I have ignore.git. That was lesson number 2. When you do your global search and replace from the command line in your applications, getting them ready for EE9, don't update your .git folder, which contains lots of metadata that will basically make your Git repo useless, which happened to me. And I just switched to a new local Git repo and copied my changes over. Not a big deal, but yeah, a little surprising. But anyways, back on topic. Another big change we made was removing the technologies that are pruned in EE9. And there was a lot of follow-on work that involved, as you can imagine, in the test suite, because a lot of our tests use, not only test those technologies, but they use them to implement the testing. So, that was quite a bit of a challenge. I think it's been about 2 or 3 weeks since we've reached, we completed all of the Big Bang changes, as well as completed pruning or removing those technologies. And a minor change for those running the TCK, we made a few changes to the TCK configuration, the TSJTA file. That's pretty minor, just removing deployment interfaces, again, for Jakarta deployments. So what may be more interesting is what we have yet to do that we're working on at the moment. So up to this point, we've been trying to pass all the Jakarta TCK tests with GlassFish 6, and that we've been doing that with JDK 8 to isolate the bugs that we've created or we have in the TCK while making all of these changes to, I think there was over 1 million, between 1 million to 2 million lines of code in the TCK changed, roughly. We're starting to look at JDK 11. We're setting up the Jenkins jobs to run with JDK 11, and that's going to be our next focus. We also have yet to remove some legacy application archives that are in the TCK that test compatibility with older EE versions. Since backward compatibility with EE8 and earlier is not part of the platform spec, we're going to remove those tests, which that reflects the fact that EE servers are not required to deploy and pass or run old deployments. And other things are are on the minor side, but a big area is updating the TCK documentation, and that's something that we hope to do, not the last day or week before release. We hope to get a head start on that. And help is welcome from the community, of course, anytime. And just wanted to give a shout out to the community that have created pull requests for the platform TCKs over the last year or so. And I collected these names from Git log, from the Git log, and also wanted to point out the mailing list for Jakarta TCK development at Eclipse.org mailing list. Please join. You can follow, join in the conversations. Occasionally, we might ask questions, ask for feedback. But you can learn about how you can contribute to the TCKs there. I also wanted to shout out, I didn't collect the names for those who contribute to all the standalone TCKs. So thank you to those people as well. And also a big shout out to all of the contributors to the platform TCK, going way back from before it was open sourced. And that's about it. Oh, cupcake time. Let me, let's see, get back on. Let's see, get back.
Yeah, and please do send special thanks to your wife. Like, that's pretty amazing and involved work over there.
I'm gonna like in a lot of households, I'm going to text her that it's cupcake time.
Don't tell her you're live.
Oh my goodness.
Oops. Sorry.
Okay, so
I'll start getting the next speaker, which is
Yes.
Steve. So I'll pull in Steve while Scott tastes his cupcake.
oh my goodness.
Yum. That's so good. Oh,
Can you
yum.
imagine how great the real cake will be once we have the full release ready?
Oh, it's going to be humongous. It's going to be so
Yes.
delicious.
So,
Okay, so-
we'll get you a T-shirt as well, Scott. So.
Oh, thank you.
So, and welcome, Steve.
Hi.
Hi, Steve.
And thank you, Scott. And I'll take you off the screen now. So, or share your cake. Good. Excellent.
Here's your cake, Sharon.
Oh, how good. Let's if Sharon is right there.
She's right here with Zoe.
Okay. Excellent. Amazing.
Hi,
Wow,
everybody.
great. Thank you,
Hi
Sharon.
there.
That was a great work.
Say hi.
Very cute.
She's just like a little mom.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you
a
very
good
much.
one, Annie. Say bye. Tick, tick.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks.
So, welcome, Steve.
Hi.
So, do you have your cupcake?
I do. I have a very British one.
That's
It's a
good.
small cream tea one.
Yeah, nice.
And
Wow, it's still cute.
there's a tale
Look at-
behind it. You see, I went to the shops yesterday to buy one, and they only had boxes of 4, and we have 4 people in lockdown here. So I thought they also had a box of 9 mini ones, and that meant that we could all eat 2 each, and leave one left over for the party. So that's why we've got the tiny one.
Yeah.
and it's British understatedness. So not too ostentatious.
Yeah.
But they were very nice. I'm looking forward to that one. It's lemon sorbet, apparently.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Do you want me to share my screen?
Yes, please.
That would be great.
Okay, it's going to go infinite, but hang on. I just want to do that first. Okay, you got that?
Yes.
Yep.
Have you got full screen?
Yes. Full
Aha,
screen.
cool. Okay, so I'm doing the piece on GlassFish 6 Milestone 1. I'm Steve Millage. I'm from Pyara. I'm also co-project lead on Eclipse GlassFish. I'm a PMC member for EE for J, where EE for J is the umbrella project for Jakarta EE. That includes the implementations as well as the specifications. I'm also co-lead on the platform project, and I'm also co-lead on a number of specs as well. So open source co-lead really means nagging people to do things rather than leading it in the way it was in JCP type of days. So what we're going to talk about, essentially, got a quick summary of what have we done, what have we not done, and what did we learn on the way, and then again how you can get involved on the Eclipse GlassFish side. So if we basically cover what have we done. So what we're doing today is we've released milestone 1 of Eclipse GlassFish 6. That is available for download, and there's a download URL later. So you can use that now, download it, and you can run Jakarta E9 applications. Currently, it runs on JDK 8. And the next phase will be get it running on JDK 11. So how we did this, just out of interest, is the approach we took is we looked at how we were going to migrate GlassFish as an application server over to the Jakarta namespace, and realized, we feared that this would be ridiculously difficult and complicated. The approach we took was essentially we disabled all the tests in the Git repo, and then we updated each POM when it became available to the API RC in the new namespace. So the dependencies of Jakarta EE obviously are quite a complicated web. So this made us realize that we were going to have to do all this in one go. So our approach wasn't to do like a search and replace. What we did was we literally changed the POM. So if we were going to update to JCA, for example, or Jakarta connectors as it is now, to Jakarta namespace, we would change the POM for that, literally look at what failed to compile and modified the namespace and moved on to the next file. So it was quite a laborious process, but from our perspective, it was one of the easiest ways to do it, was to just effectively fix the compile errors as we moved each namespace. And this was quite, as I mentioned, quite convoluted. So once you start doing connectors, for instance, then that references transactions, and that means you have to pull in the transactions, and then that would then impact EJB and Jakarta Enterprise Beans as it is now, and then you'd have to start pulling in that API as well. So it was quite laborious, but it was quite short, because what we did do is then we'd have to then go to each one of the other specification projects and demand that they made a release into Jakarta staging of their API. So we became a bit like the global nagging team, where we were running around different projects, asking them to make a release of their API into our Jakarta OSS staging, and then we could move forward again with GlassFish. This obviously is a one-time thing, and now that all the RC APIs are available in Maven Central, then anyone else would have a much easier time. And one thing to note about the GlassFish 6 release, it now supports every API in Jakarta EE 9 in the new namespace, but also people may not realize that means that also there is a compatible implementation of every specification as well. And these have all been incorporated into GlassFish 6. So that includes Weld for CDI. So there's a compatible implementation of Weld that is also in the Jakarta namespace, and Tyrus for WebSockets, Eclipse Link, Vahara, Jersey, OpenMQ, all of them have a compatible implementation in the Jakarta namespace. And so you can use them standalone in any frameworks or projects or whatever you use these things in, because they all had to be available for GlassFish 6 to actually be released. So that's quite a big deal. That means all the bulk, in my view, the bulk of the work and moving to the Jakarta namespace has been done. And what we do have left to do from a GlassFish 6 perspective, one thing is branding. We haven't really touched it since GlassFish 5 days and the migration over to the Eclipse Foundation. So we have to do some work on that. We haven't done too much on checking that old deployment descriptors work. So the current status of GlassFish 6 is it is passing some TCK tests. The number it passes is changing by the day. And it also, we have a smoke test application, which we've been using for a while, just to make sure these things sort of work, so something could run on GlassFish 6. And it's passing that. That smoke test application supports servlets, EJB, CDI, JPA, all those things. But what it doesn't have is any old deployment descriptors. It tends to rely on annotations. So we don't know, but we believe we'll have some cleanup of old deployment descriptors to do. We have to move the old GlassFish deployment descriptors to the latest namespace and a new Eclipse hosted namespace, and update them to 6.0. So that's another piece of work. And another big piece of work, currently GlassFish 6 runs on JDK 8. To pass the Jakarta E9, we need to run it on JDK 11. So that's the next piece of work. There's a big branch that is not quite ready for merging, but that is nearly there. And that work is being led by Fujitsu. Also, we obviously have to pass the CTS, which is the TCK, platform TCK, and the standalone TCKs. We haven't, on the GlassFish team, we haven't looked at the TCKs yet. All that work has been done by Scott and his team. So we'll have to come and sort of start looking at that again, just to make sure that we pass all those ready for the September deadline. But from our perspective, it is running a lot of applications now. So what did we learn from this? One of the surprising things for us, actually, as a team, I would say, is yes, Jakarta E9 is a breaking change for applications. However, for GlassFish, obviously GlassFish is was a Java E8 and Jakarta EE8 compatible application server. So you'd expect the migration pain to be vastly different and much greater than applications. But actually, once all the APIs are available, the change was pretty mechanical. It only took a couple of months of work to do the bulk of it for a few people. So I can't see that application, the pain is actually going to be that great. It's going to be obviously a lot less than the pain involved in GlassFish, and we were surprised at how small the actual work was. Not taken away from the team, but it didn't take as long as we thought. A lot of it was spent, say, waiting for updates to APIs and for releases of APIs. So how do you get involved? Let's say we've still got work to do in GlassFish. The code is obviously on GitHub. Anybody can get involved in the usual GitHub way. And we have got quite a few contributors, which I'll shout out to in a sec. Please try, now you can take applications, move them to a Jakarta namespace and run them on GlassFish and deploy them. So please try it out. If you find any problems, just raise an issue on our GitHub and we will fix it. Or if you've got any other issues or you want to get involved more, there's the mailing list there. And I put the download link here. I think that will be also repeated later, but GlassFish 6 binaries are available now, both in web profile and in full profile. So I say download it, try out some applications in the new namespace. Any problems, give us a shout. And what I want to do now is just going to show that, shout out to some of the contributors. So these are the contributors over the past 3 months. So Arjen there's an independent, so he's been the biggest contributor to GlassFish 6. And then we have Gaurav he's from Payara, and myself. Lukash that'll be from Oracle, and Hiroki's from Fujitsu, and Gökhan's again another independent. So we're getting a good spread of people working on GlassFish. Again, here's some more contributor names, and you can see we have a good spread of people. So if your name's on there, thank you very much. Your help has been great. Also help to every single one of the upstream projects. I mean, GlassFish is a huge consumer of upstream projects in EE4J, and those people have worked really hard to get their implementations out before we could merge them and integrate them into the GlassFish implementation. And they've all worked hard and been responsive to get their APIs changed when we found problems with them. And without this complete network of individuals and the whole E4J project group to actually pull together a GlassFish which pulls in everything. So thank you to everybody who's done that. So that's all I've got to say on that. I'll put that back up, and then yeah, thanks. Stop the screen share. Oh, stopped.
Thanks, Steve. And how about, so Ivar, you're on mute, but
Yeah.
I can get a chance to say something. So Steve, just get a bite.
I'll try not to stick the flag up my nose, isn't it, really? I shall take It's all still wrapped in paper. So
Yeah, don't do that.
very lemony, very nice.
Tell us how it tastes.
So
Very
we have
lemony. Okay.
we have a question for
Yeah.
you, Steve.
Well, I'm
Will
doing, thank you.
GlassFish 6 be compatible with JDK 11 or higher when it goes final?
Yes, it has to be. Basically, for Jakarta EE9, an application server has to pass a TCK on Java 11. So the next piece of work for GlassFish is to get Java 11 working, and then that's when we'll start looking at passing the TCK on JDK 11. So yes, it will be.
Excellent.
Yeah, and just to draw people's attention that now we have polls released. So do let us know if you're which Java SE are you using, and if you're already using Jakarta E8.
Yes, they are answering. So
Oh, that's
we're
fantastic.
getting votes. Hi, BJ.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
And thank you, Steve.
No problem.
And we'll see you again later.
More cupcake.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, so let me see if I can figure out how to share a screen here. Share screen.
Just hover over your picture, and then a pop-up menu will.
That should be it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Perfection.
Yeah.
All right.
We
And,
can.
but before you go, you have to do the cupcake salute.
Cupcake. Well, I also went to great extent and went to my local supermarket and collected a cupcake. So this one is all chocolate because my only other choice was something I didn't want to eat. So
Well, we're happy with that.
yeah, I braved the world, put my mask on, and it's in Florida, so we're sort of a little hot zone now. But tried to stay safe while acquiring cupcakes.
Got to prioritize, you know.
Of course, yes, very much so. Okay, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about Eclipse Transformer. So this is a new project that was started at Eclipse in support of the work that's going on in the Jakarta EE9 release. So basically, I want to talk a little bit about what the project is, what's its purpose, what are we doing, why are we doing it, and then where we are on the project, how is it progressing, and what's sort of left to do. So that's the first question: is what is the Eclipse Transformer? So at some level, you can probably guess from the name that it's about changing things, transforming things. So one of the sort of the big things that's happening in Jakarta EE9 is this renaming of packages, right? As we transition away from Java EE, well, many of those packages were in the Java X or related namespaces. And so now we're in the process of moving things to the Jakarta namespace. And if you have source code, that's not so big an issue, right? Because you have access to your source code. You can use fabulous scripts, like we saw in one of the earlier presentations, to go find all the Java X things and change them to Jakarta things, recompile, run on the latest version of GlassFish or the other app servers that are in the middle of transitioning to Jakarta EE9. But the reality, though, is that most people who write applications don't write all of the code in applications. They often depend
BJ, sorry to interrupt, but there is a slight rendering issue with the slides.
Oh.
So we're seeing the first slide and half of the second one.
Okay, let's go back. There's the first slide again, and not all the second slide. Well, that's not good. So how do we fix this?
Maybe stop sharing and share again.
Okay.
Or actually, it seems that, or just don't go into a presentation mode. Like now we're seeing the background. I'm not sure what's going on. It seems that we're seeing just a portion of your screen, really.
Yeah, that's just weird. But
Okay, now
let's try
I have
resharing.
yeah.
So the question is, how do I turn off the screen sharing thing?
I can turn it off for you if you want.
Okay,
There
so I
you go.
got it off there. So let's try that again. Share the screen. I want to share my screen 1. I'll allow that. Okay, does that look better?
That looks much better.
Okay, so we should try slideshow mode again. See what we get. No, it blew up again. Okay. Okay, we'll just do it this way then.
Yes.
Okay, so I was probably saying something very important and witty, but now I've lost my train of thought. So of course, if you have all the source code to everything, then of course you can go through your source code and you can change it, and you can move to the new Jakarta namespace, right? Most IDEs or any other tools you use have very powerful search and replace facilities to do that sort of thing. But the reality is that most applications that people develop aren't always 100% their source code, right? I mean, so many applications rely upon libraries that we find out in open source, right? So we might get them from Eclipse, we might get them from Maven Central, right? Maven Central is littered with, literally hundreds of thousands of jar files that provide important services and features that people want to use in their applications. So the question really then becomes, how can I use Jakarta EE9 with my application, but there's all these third-party binary artifacts that aren't currently updated to use the new namespace. And so this is one of the things that the Transformer project's trying to work with, right? It's trying to handle the scenario where I have existing binary artifacts that reference the pre-Jakarta EE9 packages, but we want to use them in a Jakarta EE9 application. So about a year or so ago, I'd written a library in Java that did Java class file manipulation, right? It could parse a class file into a data model and allow the data model to be manipulated, and then we could write it back out into an updated class file. So I actually built a prototype, a proof of concept of this about 9 months ago that showed doing this for Jakarta EE9. And with some additional support from some other IBM colleagues, we actually used that to kick off this Eclipse Transform project. That was our initial contribution. So we've got quite a bit of stuff in there now. It's quite powerful, but it's not done, right? There's still more work to do, right? The project can basically transform binary class files and containers of them, such as jars and ears. So you can run the tool, give it a jar file or a WAR file or something, and it will process this, go through all the various class files, looking for the names that need changing using a rule set, and do the manipulation of those and emit them out the other side, referencing the new Jakarta names. We've also got support in there for other sort of non-class file resources, right? Because class file names appear in lots of places besides class files. Right, there's quite often things like manifests. If you use OSGI, right, OSGI manifests often have import packages or export package statements. Those will need updating as well. Property files sometimes reference the name of a class. In particular, service loader configurations, meta-inf services files, they often reference the name of a type, and so they'll need to be transformed as well. So we've been working on this tool. And also on the rule set, right? Because we need to figure out all the things that need to be renamed for Jakarta. And so it turns out, obviously, the most sort of visible thing that's being renamed are the package names from JavaX this to Jakarta that. But there are other things that get renamed as well. Certain properties, system properties that are used by various specifications are getting name updates also. A number of XSD schema names, XML schema names are getting updated. And so there's a number of different places that are going to need transformation for binary artifacts to work as part of a Jakarta EE9 application. So we're trying to build out all the various aspects of the tool to support those sort of things. And we also have to build out the Jakarta EE9 rule set to do that. So we're working, even though this project is not part of Jakarta, the EE4J umbrella, we're working closely with them to build out this rule set. So we'll have that developed as well. Our ultimate goal with the project is to have several different modes of operation for it, right? The primary one we built initially was just a command line interface. So you could run this tool across various jars. We've just recently got our first pull request to build a Maven plugin. So we've started a Maven plugin around it, so you can actually build it into your Maven toolchain. Ultimately, I think we'd like to also produce a Gradle plugin to do that, to support the Gradle toolchain as well. And so this will hopefully allow you to build through your toolchain to generate, take in third-party artifacts and mutate them, transform them into Jakarta EE9 consuming artifacts. So where are we on the project? So the project was recently provisioned at GitHub. So it's a GitHub-based Eclipse project under the Eclipse Technology top-level project. Now, as I mentioned, we're not part of the Jakarta EE working group itself. We're part of the technology project. And one of the reasons we wanted to do that was mostly because we weren't really building specifications per se or implementations of specifications. And we also wanted to make sure that the tool, the transformer tool, was certainly supremely useful for Jakarta EE9 use cases, could be used for other purposes, right? So there are other ideas and things that might need transformation. So that's, of course, one of the reasons we're developing this all with a rule set, so you can define different and custom rule sets for your own transforming needs. So we've got our initial contribution up there. And we're currently right now building a 0.2 snapshot, and we're releasing it to the Sonatype OSS snapshot repository. So you can go get it there today and play with it. We got some documentations in the GitHub repo that shows you how to use it. And one of the interesting things I think to point out is that even though we're sort of very early days in this tool, there's been a lot of successes by some of the Jakarta EE9 implementation teams using it. I know that on the Open Liberty team, they've actually already got this integrated into some builds, so they're able to, for every project, to build their Jakarta EE8 artifacts and then transform them into a companion Jakarta EE9 artifact as part of the same process in the build. So they're doing that. And I think the Tommy E project is pursuing a similar strategy where they're actually able to build from their Jakarta EE8 based source both Jakarta EE8 binaries and then transform them into Jakarta EE9 binaries. So that's an interesting, I think, implementation strategy for people. That from one source base, you can use this tool to generate binaries that'll work either pre-Jakarta EE9 or post-Jakarta EE9. So all of these ideas are sort of still being explored, and how people really want to or need to use the tool are being sort of learned about. So I would really sort of encourage people that think that they're interested in this to go kick the tires on it. You can go get the artifacts from Maven Central and play with it and see what you need. But there's still stuff that's missing. We're still working on features. We've got a number of open issues in our GitHub repo. So we can go. So I would encourage people to go take a look at that over at GitHub Eclipse Transformer. Have we lost the screen again? That's a no-win situation here.
We lost, but the key part is visible.
Yeah, so I'll just share it up again since it seems to be
the fix.
Doesn't like my Mac today. Okay, right. So we got quite a good project going here. Lots of activities going on. So you can see we've got a number of issues that are open. A lot of them are talking about enhancements and new features. So there's certainly a lot of work to go on in the project, and we really would, of course, appreciate people getting involved. At very least, try it out and give us feedback. Tell us what is missing, what's lacking, and if you can, get in the project and help make pull requests, adding new features and helping us complete the rule set for Jakarta EE renaming. So that's pretty much all I have to say today. I mean, I just wanted to make sure people knew about the project, knew what it was, and hopefully can take advantage of it in their journey to Jakarta EE9. So this is the part where I have to eat my cupcake now?
Yes, BJ.
I went all in. I printed out the on my black and white laser printer the little flag, and I colored it with an orange Sharpie. So I want you to know that I put a lot of effort into this flag.
That is great.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you didn't 3D print your cupcake.
No, that would have been impressive, but I never got into the 3D printing thing. But cheers, everyone! Congratulations on the milestone release.
Thank you, BJ.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for being part of the celebration.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So I invited Shabnam in with us. And I'll just go and show a couple of slides of how you can help out, try this release, and help us move it to a full version in September. At the same time, I don't have a printer, so I ordered a lot of stickers with these flags. So what we're going to do is I'm going to send out a call for action now, and so just type in your name there. And we'll pick a random 3 of you that will, you can see the enter to win button on the bottom of the screen. If you want to win a couple of these stickers, just put your name in the form and we'll draw at the end of the show, and we'll email you some stickers so you can create your own release cupcake and have a summer of celebration with flags.
But we'll not email it. We'll actually mail it.
We'll mail it, yeah, physically. I'll put it in an envelope and go to the post office and do it old style. So we do things properly. So let's share my screen and see how it works with my presentation now. So can you see this one? It's supposed to be very blue.
Yep, looks good.
And the next one, here it says download GlassFish. And so GlassFish 6 and Milestone 1 is available for downloads. And this is where you find the downloads for all GlassFish releases. It's just to go to eclipse.org/downloads, and then you can find the GlassFish releases. And the current one supporting this milestone is 600 M1. Also, what you need to do to try it out is to update your application. And I'm kind of assuming that we have a Jakarta EE8 version out there. If you have a Java EE version, you need to change the group ID and artifact ID as well. But if you are on Jakarta EE8, you will need to change your version in your POM file. And I'll show right away what happens when you do that. The sample code I'm showing today is available on my GitHub here, and the presentations will be available afterwards, so you don't have to write down anything here. So I'll switch to my IDE and show you. Here is my POM file. So as you can see, this is a Jakarta EE8 application, and to prove that it is, I'll start build it here. And you see, it actually builds on Java 14. So you should be on the latest version of Java anyway. So and since this is just a demo, I can play with the latest versions. So, but this is a Jakarta EE8 application. I have GlassFish 5 running here. What I'm going to do is to copy this. The WAR I generated now into the auto-deployed directory of GlassFish, and you can see it deploys directly. And then I can go and look at what it says, and it says, hello, Jakarta EE8, which it is supposed to do. You can look at the code as well, and you can see it says, hello, Jakarta EE8. So let's transform this application to a Jakarta EE9 version. And the way to do it is simply update the version number. And you can see if you've done it, it's already available in your IDE. And immediately you see you have some compilation errors here. So if I go here, you can see it's the JavaX stuff that doesn't work. So let's get rid of that and fix the imports. Make sure you have the correct application. This is a REST application, so I'll use this one. And my simple hello application, let's get rid of the JavaX and replace it with Jakarta versions. And also, this is not 8, so you have to fix it to hello Jakarta EE9. So let's build this one again. And while it's when it's built, I'll just deploy it to GlassFish 6, which I have running here as well. There we go. So then I'll go to my GlassFish 6 installation, and I'll copy the hello war into this auto deployment directory. And as you see, it fairly quickly deploys. And if I do a HTTP, this one runs on 8081. Then you'll see it says, hello, Jakarta EE9. So that's how easy it is to just try out a simple application. I'm pretty sure your applications are a little bit more advanced than this one, but you get the gist of it. It's kind of update the dependencies and then fix the imports. And you're more or less good to go. There are other implementations out there, right? The one I showed now was with GlassFish. We also have the Apache Tomcat, which implements a couple of the APIs. It's available out there as Tomcat 10 Milestone 6. You have the Jetty from Eclipse. It's out there in an alpha. Open Liberty is in a beta release, and it supports a couple of the specifications, and they will continuously roll out more and more of the Jakarta until they can be fully compliant. And also planned for later this year, you have Apache Tommy, Payara 6, Wi-Fi 21, and Piranha Micro, which will also support Jakarta EE9. So what we need help with right now, what you can do is first of all, do convert your application like I did here. Figure out what's wrong, or if you have any problems, if there is something that doesn't work, and file issues on the either on the platform project if that's where you think it should be, or the particular specification that is causing you some issues. So just go to github.com Eclipse EE for J / and then you'll find the specification you're interested in and file a GitHub issue there, and we'll look at it. And even better, if you have a fix to it, just send a pull request. And also the documentation, the specification documents have been converted from Java EE to Jakarta EE, and there could be some places around there that we need to do some tuning to get the language right, or we missed some places where we haven't done the Java X to Jakarta, etc. Maybe some images need to be converted, and etc. So just pick your favorite specification and help do it. They're all in ASCII docs, so it's pretty easy to get going. And of course, after this, when you've these images are available for download if you want to have the flags and print your own or create a sticker and make a cupcake. Do continue. We can have a release party all summer, so just tweet it with the hashtag Jakarta EE and mention Jakarta EE Twitter handle, and we'll retweet it. And some of you lucky winners will get a sticker. So please do tweet.
And one more thing, the past couple of days we've been posting and asking you guys to let us know what Jakarta EE9 milestone release means to you and your organization. So please check out our socials and reply to that by commenting what milestone release means to you. It's very important to us, so let us know.
Yes. And we also recently launched the results from the Jakarta EE developer survey. So do go in, download the survey results and have a look at it and see. And I hope you also participated in the survey. So the results are out there.
And also, I will paste the link where all the presentations will be available. They are already available for you. So I will put the link into the chat so you can grab those. The replay of this whole session will be the same link that you dialed into, and we will retweet it again, and we will upload it on our YouTube channel as well. So please, you know, be in touch, get the information, and help out during the summer.
Yeah, and we haven't shown our cupcakes yet, so
no, we haven't, and you haven't.
Who want to go first?
No, before
Okay.
that, I created a survey, satisfactions survey for the event. We want to hear from you. What do you think about this event, how it went, and how did you like that? So I'll just post the link to that survey here. Please reply to that. It'll help us to improve for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cupcakes.
who wants to go
Okay.
first with the cupcakes?
Well, 1, 2, 3. Why don't we do it together?
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Here is mine, and that's one choice. I have two. I'm lucky that I have my daughter at home, so
Nice.
you know, so I have two representatives here.
That's good.
I created 3, and I have a proof that I made it myself because I posted a YouTube video this morning. So if you're interested in seeing how I made the cupcakes, you can see it on YouTube. And
Okay.
that also opens up for our last poll here, and I'll make it available now. And that is who had the coolest cupcake.
Yeah. So let us know, which cupcake did you like the best?
Yeah, and while you're doing that, I'll go in and see who has entered the draw for the stickers. So I have a list of names here, and what I'll do, it's from 4 to 26. So let's go in here and say from 4 to 26. And I'll
You should
26.
share your screen, Ivar, so everyone knows that you're actually
I'm not
doing
sharing
it.
anymore. Okay, of course. let's do share my screen. Let's see here. Yes, I'll share my entire screen like this. Okay, so I have a bunch of names here that have answered the call for action, and as you see, it's from 4 to 26. So I'll just go into random.org and generate some numbers from 4 to 26. And the first one was 23. So let's go in there and see.
Alvin.
Alvin won. And then I will draw another one. And with 24, okay, it's not very random, but it's pretty good. And we'll even take a third, don't think. Number 7. So, those of you, Bilai, Alvin, and Renee, you will get some stickers in the posts, depending on how fast your postal service is. A matter of days or weeks or years. In Sweden, it's not very good, so it could be kind of a long time. Stickers in the post for you.
Okay. So I guess with everything, you know, I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know. We want to make even bigger party for the full release, and it will be celebrated hopefully with the Jakarta One live stream. So you know, do let us know. Keep being involved, and over the summer, keep moving your applications from Jakarta E8 or Java EE to Jakarta E9, and let us know if you hit any problems.
Yeah. And before we log off, it looks like Kevin has the most votes for the Will has the most votes for best cupcake. I guess it was his throwing it in the floor actions that made him win. So Will, you won the best cupcake prize.
Yes, and you are the coolest, Will. Yes, that's true. Okay, well, thanks everyone, and we'll be closing in, and I don't know, we'll be in touch with everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, and see you
Bye
again.
for now.
Bye.
Bye.